Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be some pickups from CEX and HMV. But first of all, I'd like to say a quick shout out to Marianne and Kathleen, two new work colleagues that I've just started working with. It's great to have you on board, but the only problem is you've got to work with this guy.
Michael Hughes, the only man who can dance with two broken legs.
And as with most jobs, there's always a downside, isn't there? Anyway, I'll see you two tomorrow, 9 bells. So some of the more eagle-eared viewers might have noticed that the theme tune's changed on this video. Now what I've done is, that song there, I was playing in the car because I was going through the vaults of Mondo Chelloveck, and I come across that song from 2007, This Eagle Does Not Catch Flies, and I thought, that's not a bad song. I'll leave a link down below to the actual full song if you want to hear it in its all its glory. Got vocals on as well, from my good friend Wolfie Warploy. So anyway, check that out at the end if you so desire. So before I show you what I've picked up, I've got some new custom slips from JamySlips. Just got this from JamSlips. This is in my quest to get all my 4Ks with slipcovers on. Let's get into this. Nurse, scalpel, thank you. As usual, immaculately presented. Look at this. Now that's what you call customer service. I wouldn't know where to start doing something like this. Amazing. Really ultra well packaged. If you're wondering if you're going to get a slip from James and you think, no, I hope it doesn't come all damaged in the post, but you've got nothing to worry about. These all come individually boxed. You can't ask for much more than that, can you? It seems a shame to have to rip this. I take it, I don't know which order these are going to be in. I've got all the ones that I want to put the cases there to get these put into the slip covers on. There's nothing getting damaged in this parcel. So, let's see what we've got when I open them. Inside the box is also bubble wrap where the slip is protected. I don't know if this will come across on camera, but the colours in here are super vibrant. What I've got here is, and also I've got, oh, that's good. The slip I've got is the Cornetto trilogy, the 4K Cornetto trilogy. Now, the colours there, look at that. I love these movies. They're some of my favourite movies of all time, actually. But now, I can put this where it sort of belongs, which is in this amazing O-ring slipcover. There you go. And that looks brilliant. That's exactly how it looks on the, and this is a really rare slipcover to find out in the wild. I've never seen it once. I know there was a special edition of this when it first came out, but I've never ever seen this at all. All the details on the back as well. Look at that. What I got in the box was this. Look at that. That is amazing, isn't it? How's that for a slice of fried gold? Never seen that before, actually, if I'm honest. That's an amazing bit of artwork, isn't it? So I'll be putting that in the box. That's brilliant, that. Amazing. Didn't know that was coming. Next up is, now this one really bothered me. I'll tell you why. I was on eBay. I was looking for a long time to get this with a slipcover on. I knew a slipcover existed, but you hardly ever saw it. And this one wasn't cheap, but I thought I'll get it. All the other ones were quite cheap. This one wasn't. Got it quite a long time ago, actually. And the slipcover was promised in the picture, but when I got it, it didn't have one. When I got in touch with the bidder and said, look, the seller, where's the slipcover on this one? He says, oh, I hasn't got one. I said, well, he had one on the picture. And he says, yeah, the picture's not really my picture. It was just a picture. And I thought, Well, thanks a lot for that. And this is the thing you can do, you can get on things like eBay. You pay a bit extra thinking you're getting something a bit extra and you don't get it. And it's really bugged me, and I've been looking all over the place, even for a Blu-ray slip to put on the top of this. Can't even find it. Anyway, now I don't have to look anymore, because the slip I've got is for Doctor Who, Twice Upon a Time. Oh, look at that. That is an amazing bit of artwork. Now, I am a huge fan of this. I forgot about that. I am a huge fan of this. This, for me, is one of the best specials I've ever seen. And the reason why I like it so much is because it's got more than one Doctor in it. I'm a huge fan of that. For me, Doctor Who is best when it has multiple Doctors in it. I'm really looking forward to the 60th anniversary. Actually, I've just got the 50th anniversary here, which I'm going to look through again, because this is how it should be done. This was amazing, and it just brought them all together, which is what I'm all about, actually, just that shared universe thing. And talk about multi-universes, I think Doctor Who has invented that. That's amazing. So that's the back of the card, and what I'll do is I'll link how to get in touch with James in the description down below. Look at that. That's amazing. Really wasn't expecting that. This now is a slip case. Look at that. Okay. So that's it on the shelf with a 4K sign there. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at the back on there. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing, that. Like I say, I was so annoyed when I didn't get that. I imagine there's loads of people when you go on eBay and you want something, that promise something, or they have a picture of something, and it just doesn't happen. This is amazing. This is so clear. And I'll tell you what, I've talked about so clear. The 4K of this is pin sharp. It's one of the best 4Ks you'll ever see. I love this show. This is right up there with the 50th anniversary for me. Another thing I like about this special is that both Doctors are regenerating at the same time. That's going to look brilliant on the shelf. And the last one is, now this is another one that I don't think this ever came with a slip. I'm pretty sure it didn't. And if it did, I've never seen it. And I knew I had to get this. Was great for them, and I had to get this with a slip on. It's one of the first ones I wanted to get with a slip on, and it is. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. That's very nice, actually. Now, oh wow. So the last slip I've got from James in this amazing package is Forrest Gump. Now, I got this from Ellen, and Ellen is the fiance of Keith from Euphoria Pictures. I'll leave a link down to his channel. And I'll just say again to Ellen, who we were talking quite a bit, me and Keith, about the fact that at this point I disliked Tom Hanks a lot. And I'd said to him, I've never seen Forrest Gump, and he said he nearly fell off his chair. And Ellen in the background had said, you what? You've never seen this movie? And I says, well, it just doesn't appeal to me because it's Tom Hanks. It's Tom Hanks being serious, and I'm just not into that. So anyway, lo and behold, what turns up on the doorstep? The Forrest Gump 4K. And I says, well, I'm going to give it a shot. I appreciate you sending it to us. And they said, if you don't like it, you don't like it. And I says, well, I'll be honest. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I'll tell you. But I put it on, and I've got to say, this is what a movie this is. And emotional. You can't believe how emotional this movie is. And it totally connected with me. And I thought, you know what it is? Tom Hanks, I don't think he's a bad actor. I just thought, well, I'm going to start watching his movies. So I want to thank Ellen once again for sending me this movie. Here we go. Here's the slip. And look at that. That's absolutely brilliant. Very simplistic, but I think this movie is better being simplistic. I don't imagine you would have one that was a busy cover for this. This is iconic, actually, isn't it? So, and the insert for this is this. Look at that. Amazing bit of artwork there. So obviously this will go into the movie itself as the other ones will. So to recap, the slips I got from James is Forrest Hump. Wow.
Where's me ladders?
Sorry about the Freudian slip there. Forrest Gump. So I can't recommend JamSlips highly enough. His service is absolutely amazing. So please get over and check him out, and he's more than happy to work with you and give you the slipcover that you really want to go over your movie, whatever it is, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD even. So once again, thanks Alan and thanks James. Cheers. Absolute top quality slips as always. Like I say, links down below to get in touch with James if you fancy to get some stuff for yourself. Okay, so let's see what I picked up. First of all, from CEX, for £6 I got Miss Leslie's Dolls. Now, I didn't know anything about this movie, but I still pretty much don't. And when I saw it, it just jumped out, mainly because of the cover. It's one of those ones when you see a cover and you think, that looks really exploitational. So when I see these network titles, and I see them with the booklet in as well, I think it's a no-brainer. And this is, network don't really do many exploitation movies, but to be honest, when I spotted it, I thought, this looks really the type of movie that I love, as you know. And yeah, like I say, I don't know much about it, but it does look like it's going to be a really strange watch. And I'm all about that, as you know. This is the type of movies that Vinegar Syndrome would release. Miss Leslie's Dolls is a demented tale from director Joseph G. Petro, I think that's his name, who, if rumour is to be believed, under the name of Joseph P. Maurer, directed the outrageous 1965 exploitation documentary Chain Girls. Well, it sounds nuts, and I hope it is nuts. But yeah, for £6, you cannot knock it back. And it's funny when you see network in the shops, or you see it online, I've never ever seen this cover or this movie talked about. Who wouldn't want to play with real dolls? The lost, deranged grindhouse classic. That's Miss Leslie's Dolls. Next up, from HMV, in the Criterion sale for £12.99, I got Safety Last. And if you look on the cover there, this movie is from 1923. So this movie is 100 years old. Can you believe it? This is an absolutely brilliant movie. If you haven't seen this movie, you haven't lived. It's a silent movie, of course, but starring the amazing Harold Lloyd. Now, a couple of things about this movie you've got to realise is that Harold Lloyd there, who's hanging off the side of buildings, I think he's either got a dare to climb up the face of a building to the top, a skyscraper, or he's doing it for a reason. Now, the thing about Harold Lloyd, which never gets talked about really, is that he lost all of the fingers, or most of the fingers, on one of his hands, and he wore a kind of glove. Now, you can see the glove in this movie, but the fact that he's actually doing this more or less one-handed always kind of begged belief for me. So this movie is a 2K restoration, and you do get some short films on here as well. Even though I've been looking through the Criterion sale while I've been going in, I haven't really had my eyes on this movie, but my good friend Roy Barrett got in touch and said he'd pick one up, and I thought, hang on a minute. And he told us all about the stuff in here, and I thought, right, I've got to go and get that. So, speaking of Roy Barrett, I've got an unboxing for you. So I've just got a package from my good friend Roy Barrett. And you might know that Roy was pretty ill. He was in the hospital, actually. He had some problems with his heart. But he's on the mend. He's currently resting up in the house. He's watching his diet, and he's also watching great films. And I know Roy has been looked after well by his wife, Carol. So in here there's a note. It says, "Hi John, hope this Blu-ray reaches you well, and you, or should I say the Debs, get some enjoyment from it. Thanks mate for some great YouTube entertainment. Your collection and knowledge is elite." Well, I wouldn't go that far, mate. "You and my other friends on here have been keeping me going for the past few weeks through a particularly difficult chapter in my life. So for that I thank you again. All the best mate, Roy." Well Roy, like I say, I know who you're talking about. The community wishes you well. You're a good part of the community, and I'll leave a link to Roy's Instagram account down below if you want to check it out. Get some fantastic stuff. He's a big fan of Eureka, and he's got a huge collection there, and that just the pickups he gets are just absolutely brilliant. So what Roy has sent, and the devs will get a blast out of this, is the Blu-ray of The Three Musketeers. Now, if you remember a recent unboxing from my good friend Michael Hewitt, he sent me the slip over this, and that's when Roy got in touch and says, have you got the movie? He said, I've got it, and it was going to go to charity, so would you like it? And I said, oh yes. And like you said, the Debs is a huge fan of the Three Musketeers in general. So there you go. So now having this, and Deborah will get in watching that, because as soon as I mentioned it, and she saw it actually on the video, she's going, oh, Three Musketeers. And I went, yeah, I know that's your jam. So thanks again, Roy. Can't thank you enough for that. And Michael for supplying me with the slipcover and the Blu-ray to this. So once again, Roy and Carol, you keep on keeping on and get back to 100% fitness very soon. Cheers, mate. So thanks again, Roy, and also thanks from the Debs. She can't wait to watch that one. It's got a booklet in here as well. So if you're thinking about watching a silent movie but you don't know where to start, this is a really good place. I think Harold Lloyd used to be on the TV all the time. It's a rush back from school, and I think it's about 5:30. They used to be on BBC Two. It used to be Hooray for Harold Lloyd. No, I'm not singing the theme tune. And these are just ones that you can just put on and you can really get involved with. Like I say, some of the premises that they have in these movies are really good, and the actual stunts that they have in it, the people who do the stunts themselves, I just can't believe that this thing was even allowed. But back in the day, this is just what happened. It's par for the course, wasn't it? So with a big shout out to Roy Barrett, that's safety last. And finally, from HMV for $24.99, I picked up The Whip and the Body. Now this is in the Italian Classics collection. This is spine number 80, which sits right next to Cannibal Holocaust. Wow. And this movie is from 1963 and is directed by the late, great Mario Bava. Mario Bava is kind of like Dario Argento's hero, and I think they actually work together, kind of. It's Lombardo Bava's father, so the pedigree in this movie is unbelievable. Of course, it stars as well Christopher Lee, so it's got everything going for it. Now, these special, sometimes it's weird because you get the ones in the slipcovers and you get the ones in the special editions. This is the Blu-ray only. I thought this was actually a 4K, but it's not. Maybe the elements aren't there. More about that in a minute. So in here you get this really nice booklet. It's just, I don't know what it is about these booklets. I just think they're absolutely brilliant. They're just great to just flick through. Some brilliant gaudy artwork as well. Now, Mario Bava, if you haven't checked out any of his films, I've got quite a few of his movies. They are something else. If you like Dario Argento and you don't know about Mario Bava, you will love Mario Bava. You've got to see his stuff. It's stylish. It's basically, I believe, in my mind, that Hammer Movies copied Mario Bava. I think he was the original Gothic maestro. And the Hammer movies, the Gothic Hammer movies, which are great, I think there were a lot to actually, Mario Bava's look to movies. Some of his black and white stuff is just absolutely brilliant, and I would love to think that some of them will come out in 4K. So that's the booklet. This is the flippable art. I put that on there because I like to see that the number on there. You don't see it on the other side, which is the art of this box, which is nice artwork. And in here you also get a disc and you get a poster. I would say that's a new cover, and this looks like the original artwork on there. Great artwork there. That screams 60s to me. Now this movie is a movie I haven't seen. It's a rare Mario Bava movie that I haven't seen, although I have had it before of my good friend John Hall. I know I keep saying this, but the 2 videos with John Hall will be coming out very soon. Now John brought this over before. This is the, what's it, who released this? The OEG, and this is the UK version. Now he did say that he said it's digitally remastered, but he said it's not that great a copy. When I put it on, to be honest, I thought it was going right. I didn't think it was bad at all. And when I got that one, I thought, well, it's obvious that this one wouldn't be one I would require anymore. But on the extras there, it's got 2 great extras, a lengthy interview with Christopher Lee, like a new one, retrospective one, and also it's got a with Jonathan Rigby, and those are 2 amazing special edition like features that aren't on the 88s ones. So this one's a keeper. So I checked this Blu-ray out to see how it looked against the brand new restoration. And this one, like I say, it looked alright, even though John Hall didn't say it looked that great, but I thought it looked pretty acceptable. So I put this on, and I've got to say they've done an amazing job with this one. This one is perfect. Now this is a 2K restoration from a 4K scan, which makes me think, have they got a 4K around the corner, which don't really want to go down that route of double dipping that much. I mean, I don't mind upgrading some of the ones that start coming out in 4K, which are down here, but they're remastering them enough. But I would like to think this is a little bit tricky if they do put this out on 4K soon. Hopefully not, because this one's more than adequate. And you have got some exclusive extras on there. Like I say, the extras on the other disc aren't on here. So if you ever want to know everything, or you see that one cheap, you might want to get it for those two really long extras on there. But like I say, I haven't seen this one. But I would imagine that this one would be, if you like Hammer, you would get a blast out of this one, because all the ones I've seen from around about this time period, like Black Sunday and Black Sabbath, they are really sort of they've got that look to Hammer, although they're Italian made. To be honest, I was quite surprised but really happy to see this movie getting featured in the Italian collection. I do think that Mario Bava is one of the best Italian directors of all time, and he needs to have a huge presence in this collection. So hopefully, please, coming up, you release more of his amazing movies. So please get down and check out JamSlips down below if you want to get some custom made slips. And also, if you want to hear This Eagle Does Not Catch Flies in its full entirety, check the link down below. And also, if you want to learn how to play the full song on guitar, please keep on watching. So, thanks for watching, you take care, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers. So this is how you play Mondo Chelloveck's This Eagle Does Not Catch Flies. You're playing fifth shape chords, which is basically just power chords. You've got standard tuning here. So the power chord is you're just really playing 2 strings at a time. So on this song you're mainly doing downstrokes throughout. And that's it really. So this is the verse. So then it goes to the chorus. Yep, so that's how you play This Eagle Does Not Catch Flies.